If you want to see how sick and distorted Kamala Harris's priorities are, just consider FEMA. F-E-M-A. You know what that is, right? The Federal Emergency Management Agency. And you read about it now all the time because there's nobody that's handled a hurricane or storm worse than what they're doing right now. Kamala spent all her FEMA money, billions of dollars, on housing for illegal migrants, many of whom should not be in our country, including $1 billion for gift cards for illegal aliens and putting them up in luxury hotels with a gift card to welcome them to America as our veterans are sleeping on the sidewalks below those hotels and they're being walked into luxury hotels. Now we have a horrific disaster in North Carolina, Georgia, South Carolina, Alabama, Tennessee, Florida, and Virginia. That's how big this hurricane was. And the Harris-Biden administration says they don't have any money. They've spent it all on, they spent all of their money. They have almost no money because they spent it all on illegal migrants. How would you like to be a veteran and you've been sleeping opposite the entrance to a luxury hotel and illegal migrants come in and they're going up and occupying the hotel? That's what's happening. They stole the FEMA money just like they stole it from a bank so they could give it to their illegal immigrants that they want to have vote for them this season. You know, they're trying to get them on the voters' roll. We cannot let that happen. I want to thank Elon Musk. He endorsed me, but more importantly, he endorsed me strongly. He said, you better vote for Trump if you want to save your country. And he's a smart cookie, but he did something else. I was in Georgia the other day, and after the floods, and they were having tremendous problems, in particular in North Carolina. You can't even get in. They were wiped out. They had no communication whatsoever. And they said, do you know somebody named Elon Musk? I said, I happen to know him. He just endorsed me. They said, is there any way he does a product, Starlink? Did anyone ever hear of Starlink? And it's another one of his genius products. It is genius, too, actually. And they said, is there any way? Because North Carolina, in particular, has absolutely no communication. We can't communicate. You can't get there. You just can't talk. And many people are missing. You know, it's really bad. It's really, really bad. Many people are missing. And our federal government is doing so badly. So I said, Elon, can you do us a favor? Can you take care of it? He had, within 45 minutes, planes and helicopters loaded up with this equipment, and they were having perfect communication within less than 24 hours. It was unbelievable. And I said to the person that got me and made the request, who's over there really suffering too, I said, well, what's the difference between that and what they had with the hard wire? They said, actually, the hard wire is not as good. Think of that. So this man got, and he also said, just take it. You'll pay if you can. I mean, people are getting these expensive systems from him, and we really owe him a debt of gratitude. Elon Musk. Great. Not a lot of people would have done that. Most people could not have acted that fast either. He got it right away. They were starting to load, I think, before the phone conversation ended. So we have to thank him. How good did J.D. Vance do the other night? Didn't he do great? I drafted the best athlete. You know, Vince Lombardi, you say, go for the best athlete. But I had 12 people that would have been fantastic. But J.D. did a fantastic job at the debate. I delivered you the largest tax cuts in American history, and we'll do it again. We're going to get them lower, but we're going to do something else. No tax on tips. No tax on overtime. And no tax on Social Security for our great seniors. Right? If you want your incomes to plummet, your net worth to collapse, your tax bills to soar, your jobs to disappear, then vote for Lion Kamala to be the tax queen, to be your president, because if you want to do all those things where your country goes to hell, where your country ends up in a 1929-style depression, then vote for Kamala. Here's the deal that I will be offering to companies and manufacturers all around the planet. We're going to be going after their companies for the first time ever. They've been ripping us off for years, but that's not going to happen anymore. The United States will give you the lowest taxes, the lowest energy costs, the lowest regulatory burdens, and free access to the best and biggest market on the planet Earth, but only if they make their products here in America and hire American workers. That's the whole deal. And if these companies don't take the deal, if they say no, then they're going to have to pay tariffs to come into our country. They're going to have to pay tariffs. And they want to come into our country, they're going to have to pay, and they're not going to send their products made in another country to us, and we have to eat their products. They're produced by other labor, and their labor, we're not going to take it. We will use the hundreds of billions of dollars in tariffs to benefit the American citizens. We're not going to let happen what's happened for so many years. For years, Americans have watched as our country has been stripped of our jobs. By the way, this state, more than any other, you lost 60% of your automobile business over the years. And you know, a lot of it went to China, but a lot of it is currently going to Mexico. And China owns it, but it's going to Mexico. They think they're going to make cars. They're going to make cars and sell them into the United States with no tax. And that will destroy. It won't happen. It won't happen. And I'll tell you why in just a couple of minutes if you don't mind waiting. But it won't happen. They want to strip us of our wealth, and you've seen our companies being sold off to foreign countries all the time. And how about U.S. Steel? I'm not going to let them sell U.S. Steel. I don't care, even if it's maybe good, but this was the most important. 65, 70 years ago, U.S. Steel was the most important company in the world. Now Japan wants to buy it. I would not let that happen. I hope it doesn't go through before I get there, because if I get there and it's not done, we're not letting that. We'll help it. We'll help it get along. But we're not letting them buy U.S. Steel. But with my plan for the American economy, this will stop immediately all of this nonsense that they're doing, all of the hurt they're inflicting upon us. And we will begin to take other countries' jobs and factories, bring in businesses and trillions of dollars back to the United States of America. In other words, for the first time in 70 years, although I will say we started that process for 4 years, we started it. We had it going good, and then we had to fight the COVID stuff, and we did that really well. We never got the kind of credit we got for the economy and for the military, because we defeated ISIS very quickly. ISIS was supposed to take 5 years, and it took us about a month. Which tells you when you find the right ones, we have a great military, but I rebuilt the entire military. Under my plan, American workers will no longer be worried about losing their jobs to foreign nations. Instead, foreign nations will be worried about losing their jobs to America. We're bringing them all back. We will set up special zones on federal land with ultra-low taxes and regulations for American producers, and entice the relocation of entire industries from other countries into ours. So think of it. We have low energy, we have low regulation, and we have low taxes. Nobody can do that but us. But we have to do it. And we'll do it quickly. I have pledged to remove the 10 old and burdensome regulations for every new regulation. So if we put a new regulation in the book, which is not going to happen often, we have to reduce 10. And nobody cut regulations as much. Nobody cut regulations as much as I did, as you remember. And nobody cut them even close to what I did in the first term. 4 years. In 4 years, I cut regulations more than any other president in the history of our country by far.